Welcome back to Winners Win Football Podcast, where we make weekly wrong football predictions and mispronunciations.
I'm not sure we should call it Winners Win this week, because we both suck, honestly.
Lose.
Losers lose. Hey, we didn't lose, technically. We drew, but we're still shit.
Today is gonna be a sad episode, a complaining episode, a butthurt episode. Nothing is gonna be positive today.
I have one positive thing to say, which we should start on.
All right.
Let's start on Saka. Saka's return.
All right.
He came on. It wasn't this game week's match, but it was against Fulham. But when he came on, oh my God, the goosebump I got, because everyone in the crowd cheered like we scored in the last minute of a game. One of their players after the game, he did an interview and he was like, I thought they scored. I was like, I'm looking around like, what happened? And you just saw Saka running on. That's the effect it had. So just by being bad, it felt great. Then he scored even better.
Yeah.
But I have to say, he does look hella rusty. He does not look good.
He played 2 games now.
He's played 2 games now. First he came on for like last week, and he came on in this game as well.
Yesterday.
He played 30 minutes in the first game and 45 in the second.
Okay.
Usually when he was fit and when he was playing early in the season, we always attacked down our right.
Yeah.
I think we like 55-60% of our attacks came down the right.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it felt like we never attacked down the right.
Really?
In these 2 games. We only played on the left side of the field.
Martinelli.
Through Martinelli. And to be fair, it looked good because he was playing well.
Yeah.
But you could see like he was rusty. The touches wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was not that he played badly.
Yeah.
It was just that it didn't feel like too confident. It was like he was a bit careful with it.
Okay.
Which I understand, he's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, Saka is back. Now I was like, maybe he should rest.
Saka is back, kind of.
So it was nice to have him back, but even so, I don't expect too much from him. Now, seeing what I've seen, it's more on Martinelli, and he's been good, which is for once like he peaked highly in the first season where we challenged for the league.
2023.
Yeah. And he tied the record for most goals as a Brazilian in the Premier League. Yeah. Him and Firmino. So he's like, okay, this is a good player.
Yeah.
And since then he hasn't really been able to continue with that form. But now because what he always has is goals in him. But he's been outside of it. His dribbling, his passing, like how can he contribute? He always works hard, but he never contributes in the same way, which you shouldn't expect the same things from him compared to Saka. He's a different player. He's the goal-scoring winger, while Saka is the creative one. So when he used to play the best was with Jesus. So him and Jesus, they usually swapped places during the game. So like Jesus went out to the left, Martinelli through the middle. And when Saka scored his goal was when Martinelli got the ball centrally. He ran with the ball, played it out to the left to Merino.
Yeah.
Merino crossed to the middle, Martinelli flick, and Saka header. Merino.
Bro, he's so good.
Yeah.
One of the reasons you didn't win yesterday was that he didn't start.
He started, but he was started in midfield. That's
another.
Yeah, but no, to be fair, I think like in the 8th, he's played 8 games as a striker for us. He scored 5 goals. I mean, you can't.
I have an eye for talent. I have to say. I swear to God, I have an eye for talent.
Nah.
Scaloni, I knew he would be good from Copa America when they haven't even won the Copa America yet. Back in 2019 or 20 or whatever it was.
You saw one guy commented. He was like, "This guy must think Rafa Benitez is world class."
Bro, Scaloni is world class. I swear to God, Scaloni is world class. I knew Marcos Llorente would be a great talent. I knew Gutierrez would be a good talent. Bro, I have an eye for talent. On God.
Sure.
So how do you feel about your chances now with Saka back? Martinelli, I'm quite happy that he regained confidence again and talent again, if you can regain talent, because I felt it was quite sad to see him last season not being himself again, because that was one of my favorite players in Arsenal the first season when he challenged for the league. So it's quite nice seeing him back. Wrong time though.
right before we play you guys.
Right before us.
But probably Valverde plays at right back. If it's Vasquez, then it's over for you guys.
Let's talk about it later.
Don't get me started.
Let's leave it later.
No, but we need, and that's why when Saka got injured, I was like, okay, maybe we can use it for a benefit.
Yeah.
Like this can elevate the rest of the team. Like, how do we play without our best player?
Yeah.
How does the rest of the team adapt and be able to step up? That is what we need, and I feel like some players have and some players haven't. The word. But it's good. We need Martinelli firing. But that's enough about us.
Do you think he will start against Madrid?
Martinelli?
Huh?
Yeah, he has to.
I mean Saka. Do you think Saka will start against Madrid the first game?
I think he'll play, but I don't think he should, honestly. From what I've seen so far, I don't think he should. Probably that's the thing. Like, should you put a 17-year or now 18-year-old in a Champions League matchup like this against Real Madrid?
You know who would pull that off? Lamine,
for sure. But Lamine's a generational talent. Waneri is just...
I thought Waneri was a generational talent. What happened?
He is.
What happened? No. You're getting scared, bro.
No, I'm not scared. I'm just...
When it really matters, you should back your talent.
No, I'm backing my talent, but...
Back your guy.
But I just want to be careful with him. I don't want to overplay him or ruin him too early. Because it's different in Barca, especially these times, they don't have the players and they don't have the same expectation until this season because of the economic situation, everything.
Yeah.
But we, at this moment, have certain expectations. I don't want people, because people started to complain now about him. I don't want it to affect him mentally, because right now we only be positive for him. Like, you're playing, you're contributing, you're actually playing well. Just keep it like that. But at the same time, Saka is too rusty. I don't know. I would say I would rather Waneri, honestly, from what I've seen so far. But then again, just Saka being there might scare you guys enough that it opens opportunities for other people.
Yeah. Maybe.
So,
I mean, I don't think Mendy will get back in time. So either way, we are fucked. You have either Fran Garcia or Alaba. But don't worry, Saka is now, he's not injured, but he's not up to full fitness yet. What did I do to deserve this?
A lot.
Speaking of Arsenal,
we have the Everton game, which here comes the complaining. Let's go. Let's go.
So let's just give context.
Sir.
Malcolm wrote catastrophic refereeing performance, and I wrote right below it, "You suck, stop complaining."
Stop blaming the referees. But honestly, now I will complain about the referees.
Imagine my shock.
But I will not only complain about the referee at the Arsenal game, I will complain about the referees at the other games as well. So I will complain about all the referees.
Okay, go on.
So in the Arsenal game, the referee, case number one. No, there was an incident, very debated. Should have been a penalty.
Yeah.
Ahmed, since he likes to analyze Arsenal so much, I was like, what do you think about the penalty? He's like, yeah, I didn't watch your game, of course. So I showed you. He is one of the few that actually thinks it should have been a penalty.
It's not... Okay. Maybe it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay, if I'm going to be honest, it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
But it's not a decision where I go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Referees are against Arsenal. It's like, hey... One referee could have judged it this way, the other referee could have judged it, because he does hold, and he is kind of the last man. If the attacker is released on his own, that's a goal.
Nah,
and he's kind of holding.
It's a bad angle, but
but he's still like he can be free against the goalkeeper.
Yeah, but that's another thing which I don't think a lot of people spoke about. When they both went down, because both of them were holding each other.
Yeah.
For me, what the thing about it was, it started outside the box, and Miles left. He released him right before he went inside the box. Both fell down. Harrison, he straight away went up and tried to go for the ball. So he didn't even complain. He didn't even think it was a penalty, because by his reaction, if I was being pulled down inside the box, instantly I would have called for a penalty or a foul. He went out and went for the ball, and as soon as the referee blew and he saw that he was running, he was like, oh shit, now I have to give a penalty, because it ruined his moment, his chance to go for the goal. But for me, usually most pundits in England usually side with the referee when it comes to Arsenal, in my opinion. Doesn't matter. They said it should not have been a penalty. Most other pundits from other countries says like, how is this even a penalty? Because it's soft. It's like you pull slightly.
It's soft, but it's not a scandal.
It's a scandal.
Because it's not a scandal. It's like it's a decision that's like, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Nah,
it's like
no, I don't think it is.
It's not a disgrace. It's not like, wow, this is the way you made it out to be before you showed me the video. I was like, oh, this is gotta be it's gonna chop his head off.
No, but the thing is, for me, it's like when I saw it, I was like, how is this a penalty? It's so soft. It's like, and that's for me watching the replay. So it's like, okay, surely the VAR should take it away. You know who's on VAR duty in the game? The same guy that didn't take away the Miles Lewis-Skelly's red card against Wolf. So for me, it's like, okay, now we have the same guy that made 2 mistakes, according to most people at least, and he's still on VAR duty. He's still in the job, and it's against the same player as well. Yeah. So that was for me very annoying, and for me, what I'm talking about is the incompetence of the referee. I think they are biased to some teams because we've seen it. David Coote came out with the video and said it against Liverpool. I think that did a lot of damage this season. And in this game, we've been given 2 red cards for 2 yellows this season. One for Rice and one for Trossard. And a guy, Everton player, O'Brien, he had a yellow card earlier on. And when Raya claimed the ball from a corner, he went out to play it quickly, but this guy came in the way and stopped him from playing it. That's a yellow card, right? The referee watched it, he saw it, nothing. For me, and that's the thing, those things that happen to us will never happen again. I don't want this guy to be given a second yellow for that, but why were we given it in the first place? That's what I'm complaining about. And the most embarrassing one for this game, this guy, I think he was so out of it. He was like, yeah, I just want to go home. He blew the whistle. Everyone was like, why are you blowing? It's like 30 seconds left of the game. The Everton players stormed him, surrounded him. It's like, look at the time on the board. There's like 30 seconds left. He's like, oh, okay, he blew it again and gave them a free kick. And they got to play on.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The referee standard is not good. There's no complaining. Like, I agree there. But it's just, you weren't gonna win the league anyway.
But if
you wouldn't have won the league anyway.
But if we were given proper referee decision, I think we would have been up there at this moment, despite our injuries. Because for me, the biggest 2 reasons are the injuries and the referee decisions. Before I complain about injuries, I would just like to point out 2 more things from this weekend. Just so I am biased. I complain mostly about Arsenal referees.
Get it out so just you feel good about yourself.
But I would complain about other referees' decisions as well. I showed you the video of Ramsdale handling the ball outside of his box. VAR should have been red card instantly. And that was against Tottenham. So for me, it was like, just funny because they missed it, but should have been a red card. In the Liverpool game, that's a penalty. It could have been for 2 different situations, and the VAR team, they deemed it not sufficient contact for a penalty, while the Miles one was deemed sufficient. And that's the thing, like, what's the difference between those 2? One is very much more aggressive, while the other one is it's a 50-50, like you said.
The Liverpool one is a disgrace. It should have been a penalty.
They lost anyways, and that's the thing. Like, if let's say we won our Everton game now, they lost their game. We would have gained on them. Not that I'm saying we would have won from this point. But it's been like this throughout the season. You're tired of me complaining about the referees. That's because I complained the entire season because we've been fucked the entire season.
Yeah, but you didn't drop point just because of the fucking referees.
We did.
You're telling me every point you've dropped is because of the referees.
No.
You dropped so many games that were so shit.
We deserved to lose.
But you haven't played well up until... Yeah, you still don't play that well.
No, but we still win.
Yeah, but you're not playing well.
Okay, winners win. Sometimes we win despite not...
Yeah, but you're not winning.
Because of the referees.
Sucks to suck.
That's the thing.
Winners win outside of the pitch as well. You know who I blame? I blame your owners and your mother. I blame your owners
For
they should pay. They should pay more. You
learn from Perez, man.
I swear there is. I know it for a fact there is some corruption.
Of course, we all know it.
I know.
We all know it.
So it's up to your owner to make sure that you get some good decisions with it.
And you know the funny thing? Like, there's this case hearing for City, the 115 charges.
Yeah.
They was like, no man, they bent the rules to favor Arsenal. That's what they said officially.
Wait, so what happens with the ruling?
There is still ongoing. I think we'll hear soon from the charging, but from what everyone's telling, it's looking bad for them. But we'll see. We don't know
yet. Are we talking relegation?
Maybe that's the thing. Like, how I don't know what they will punish them, but they will be found guilty regardless. Then it comes, how do you punish them? Will be the interesting part.
I hope they don't punish them with money.
No, that's money is like
that's a worthless ruling.
It should be like relegation and strip their titles, like Juventus won.
Stripped their titles is a lot. But Juventus weren't stripped of their titles, were they?
According to like they still count it, I think. But you know the funny thing, if they strip Manchester City of all their titles, I think United will get 2 titles. We will get 2. Liverpool will get like 3 or 4, and other FA Cups as well. You know who will get nothing? Tottenham.
It's crazy that United would get the title though, because they weren't even close. I think Liverpool deserve it because they were so close.
Yeah.
You deserve it because you were close.
Yeah. But United
were shit that season with Mourinho. They didn't deserve it.
Yeah, he's like, this is one of my biggest achievements of all time. Coming second.
Did you see he?
Oh my God!
He attacked this manager.
The Fenerbahce coach. The Galatasaray coach.
The guy's gonna get cancer as well. He's gonna regret it.
God. I love Mourinho. No, but what was I complaining about?
Now the injuries.
The injuries. No, for me, we talked about this a little bit before when we spoke about the Club World Cup. Like, there's way too many games, way too much for these players, where they get put on a lot of physical stress. And I think now we're starting to see the results of this. Like, usually before, there wasn't as many ACLs as was this before. The amount of hamstring injuries now, I showed you they did a study on hamstring injuries over 20 years in the Premier League, or top 5 leagues from Linköping University, and they see like it's been an increase now. Hamstring injuries constitute for 25% of all injuries, I think it was, and they say it's a injury caused by fatigue. So there's more games playing with less rest, and now we see there are more. What comes because of that is more injuries, and what will happen? The product in itself will suffer from it. Football will suffer because the best players will be injured. Like, look at this season. Just in the Premier League, now Haaland's injured, SAKA is injured, Rodri's been injured. Pretty much everyone's been injured. De Bruyne injured. The only one who hasn't been injured is Salah, and they're winning the league. Look, that's all it takes.
And the Premier League generally, as a product this year, is not as good.
It's not as... Also because why? The referees. Let me get that in. No, but honestly, I think the injuries and the referees, because there's media.
And the top teams aren't performing to their level, I think, this year.
Yeah, but because of the injuries. But the thing with referee, there's a lot of media attention because of it, but it's negative. Like, the Premier League watchers don't enjoy it because they know they will be fucked over by the referees.
But do we think this will change? Let's say you present this research to UEFA and FIFA. There is no chance in hell. Because at the end of the day, everything that matters to them is money.
And you know, we all laughed at Chelsea, but maybe they were onto something. In the future, you might need like 40 players in your squad, like 2 different teams.
Of course.
One for like competitive, for how do you say, like domestic and one for European or international games. It's a sad state, but it might be true. Like, but then you won't know like who is going to play where and how, and that's a direction football is going now, where there's so many games, so many injuries. You don't know.
Too many games. Yeah. Like, we don't even have time to do the podcast. It's like we make the podcast on Monday and we don't even have time to upload the TikTok. There's already a whole other storyline on Wednesday.
Like we missed it completely.
We missed it completely, dude. Chill. We need time to upload. I have a life, I have a job,
You're not allowed to just watch football, consume.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And this Club World Cup, man, I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it already.
Because it's...
Just cancel it, the idea. Imagine you as a player right now, okay? By the way, I just need to take a moment.
Yeah.
I played football in the first time in a very long time.
Yeah.
On Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, this last Friday.
2 days ago.
Bro.
You're still...
I am still aching in my body.
You're messed up.
Like, I don't have any stamina.
Yeah.
In the beginning, first 5 minutes, I played well. I like general... I would say I'm okay as a defender.
Yeah.
Okay, and we played inside.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do as much running, although that is as fatiguing because it's anaerobic.
Yeah.
But the fact that these players have to do that every 3 days
at the highest
level, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We need to appreciate football players more, dude.
And we need to care for them.
I'm not gonna complain about Vasquez anymore. Fuck that. No, never mind.
We love you, Vasquez.
We love you. No, but like, it's such a it's such
so demanding.
I always wanted to be a footballer, but then after that I was like, I'm so happy I'm not.
Yeah,
it's so demanding.
You sacrifice your body.
No, but physical sacrifice.
Yeah,
like for a normal job there is mental sacrifice, but this is a physical and mental. Every 3 days. No, it's too much. I don't care if you give me 20 million. I'm not doing that every 3 days.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
And like I told you, I think it's funnier to be a football player in a mid to low level team than at the top team, because then it's way too demanding.
Dude,
it's demanding enough as it is down here.
Yeah.
But at the top teams, I can't even imagine the stress, the pressure, and everything going on in your body at the same time. No, it's too much.
And not that UEFA, FIFA, and like the English Federation and the Spanish Federation will understand this.
Yeah.
But generally, if someone enjoys their job, you will get a better product.
Yeah,
if you enjoy doing your job, you'll do better at your job. You'll create a better product.
Yeah.
If you don't like your job, if you're heavily exhausted every 3 days, you're pushing these players to the limit. They travel from country to country. How the hell are you gonna have the love for the game as much? And there is no way. And second of all, imagine you as a footballer. That's what I was gonna get to. Sorry.
No problem.
Imagine you as a footballer. You played every 3 games. You're getting injuries every month.
Yeah.
And then you finish the season finally, and then now you have a Club World Cup after a week. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's way too much.
What is this? What is this craziness? Chill. Like how much money? Money is ruining football, man.
It's completely ruining.
Like I don't complain about modernization of football. I like the modernization of football. Yeah. But even I'm going like, this is too much.
It's getting getting
out of hand, dude.
No, I completely agree.
There needs to be some logic in this. Like even if you want to squeeze as much as money as possible, you need to find a balance between money and performance, between a good product.
Because that's the thing everyone's complaining about. Like the people in our age or older, they're like, what has happened to the beautiful game? We don't enjoy it as much anymore. I think it's because of the things you just said. You're squeezing everything out of it. The joy and the love for the game is not there anymore in the same sense. It's become robotic. It's become money oriented, and you just have to perform and do your job, not do it because you love it in the same way anymore. Which is a sad state. It's a sad direction.
It is a sad. I just hope. I mean, I don't think UEFA, FIFA, and the federations will do anything about it. So I think the only people that can actually do something about it is the presidents and the managers. If they just stop playing, which is what Ancelotti threatened to do. He was like, if we play within 72 hours again, we won't play. We won't come to the game.
But
And that's the only way they will stop, because UEFA and FIFA have no incentive.
They don't care for it.
But they don't care. That's another. They're corrupt and they're disgusting.
I mean, they don't care for your players. They don't care
exactly.
for your,
They don't have an incentive to decrease the games. So you have to make an incentive.
Yeah.
The incentive is, first of all, you get a better product. Second of all, if you don't allow us to rest, we're not coming to the game.
Exactly. You need a concrete, like, if you do this, we won't be there.
Yeah.
Like, we might say, if people rest, the product will be better. But it's like, are you sure? We don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I can accept that they won't do it. But if we say we won't play, if you do it like this, they were like, okay, maybe we have to do something about it. The thing is, even if you would want your place to rest, Gabriel Magalhaes was injured now against Everton, and he got a grade 3 tear at his hamstring. And Arteta spoke at the press conference in November, I think.
Yeah.
He injured his hamstring and he got a grade
3.
No, but in November he got a grade 1 tear.
Okay.
And he was like, he got injured, and 3 days later he was like, yeah, I want to play. Gabriel said it to Arteta. Arteta was like, yeah, you can't. And they were fighting. Arteta said, he used the word, there was a big fight.
Yeah.
He was like, we can't allow you to play. But when you look at, he in his mind just, I need to play. I need to, because he has a winner mentality. He's a competitor. I think, and that's the thing, like, coaches and players, they are competitors. So when you present them like, here we have this new prize and new trophy you can win, of course we want to win, but you have to you have to ensure them, like, okay, you need to take care of yourself. And that's the thing. Arteta was like, okay, we can't play you. They had this fight, and he was like, 3 days later they had the fight. Another 3 days they had a game. He was like, you can't play still, even though he wanted to. And he rested for like 12 days. He missed 4 games because of it. And then he eventually played. And that's the thing, like, you have, at some point, you have to realize, like Ancelotti, we won't play. We can't do it because we have to protect our players.
Of course.
We have. But
speaking of bottling leagues, the battle of the bottlers.
The battle of the bottlers. Like you predicted.
So Arsenal drop points. And
Liverpool drop even more points.
Bro, you could see it miles away. You two, you suck.
But we only suck because of our injuries. I promise you.
Yeah, but you also suck without the injury.
No, we haven't had a completely. Okay, not completely. We haven't
are we gonna go through the same conversation?
We can go.
Okay. Why didn't you win last season?
Because
why didn't you win last season? You had full squad.
No.
You had a full squad last season. You had a full squad in the run-in last season.
And we were good in the run-in. We lost one game.
Did you win the league? Did you win the league?
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. No, but of course, I think we were good last season. We should have won it, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
This season, we could have won it. It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
3 years ago we tried, but we didn't.
But that's the thing. Like you said, like, I think Liverpool would drop. I say that's what Liverpool would drop off, but we will like
drop
with them. We're like, okay, we're going down. Would you? And that's the annoying thing. Like, if we would have won this, I said it like. When Saka and Havertz, everyone got injured, like, just give me 1-0 wins for the rest of the season, because I thought that would be enough.
Yeah.
This Everton game, we would have won 1-0 if it wasn't for that bullshit penalty. I don't care what you say. I think we would have won 1-0. The same thing happened a lot of times. But now it's gone too far. There's like 7 games left. I think it's 11 points. It's over. Liverpool bottles it. They were lucky that even. And
staying in this theme of bottlers, Tottenham.
I have to speak about Tottenham.
The floor is yours.
No, I always said it like
you
this.
You have too much to say.
There's a lot of things in my mind. No matter how bad Arsenal are, I will always be able to laugh at Tottenham. I will always be laugh at Tottenham. So let's give me the context first. For me, this is important.
Give me
the context. This is important because last season when we could have won the league, Spurs played them, and I felt the fans wanted Tottenham to lose the games.
Yeah.
I felt the players didn't care too much to win the game either. And when they lost the game against City, the Spurs players celebrated.
The players didn't.
No,
the Arsenal fans.
No, the Tottenham
Spurs fans. Yeah.
But that's the thing with Ange. He reacted to. It's like, why do you want to lose?
They weren't challenging.
I think they were. No, they were still. They were up.
They weren't that close. They were close.
They were close. And if they would have won that game, they would have been ahead of Aston Villa at the moment in time. And eventually they could have, with 2-3 games left, they would have been at the opportunity to go there. Instead, they came 5th. They missed out on all their first the signings they wanted, and now they're 16th. They are horrible.
But I do understand. I do understand the fans in that aspect.
Of course,
because you're having a shit season. I remember them. I don't remember they were that close. But we can double check.
Please. At the beginning of the season, the pundits were like, "This team is better than the Invincibles." To Tottenham.
Okay.
No, I promise you, that's what they say.
That's stupidity.
That's what they were saying.
They were talking shit.
I don't care. Let's check out. Not that season. At the end, 2 points. And that's look at the last.
Yeah, but look at Aston Villa. They were like,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They were still there. They still had the chance. They knew they could have.
But for me, okay, there are several aspects to this. As I understand the Spurs fans in that aspect, which is, if my biggest rival
have a chance
to win the league, and I'm playing against their title contender, I don't want us to win that game. I fully get that.
Yeah, from 100%.
100%.
When Spurs,
I told you, if Barca and Atletico Madrid are competing for the title, okay? Maybe not. This is a bad example because Atletico Madrid is also a rival. Let's say if Barca and Real Betis. If Barca and Real Betis are competing for the title,
of course you want Betis to win.
And then Betis
play against you guys.
Play against us. Okay? They are leading. But if we beat Betis,
Barca win the league.
Betis go ahead.
Please.
5-0.
Roll out the red carpet.
I do not care.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my biggest rival to win.
Yeah.
That's a very understandable. That's not a loser mentality. No. That's a hateful mentality, which I respect.
Of course you can respect it. But the thing with Tottenham is their identity is in their comparison to us. They measure their success based on how well or poorly we are doing.
Although, may I interject?
Yes.
You do have some Tottenham's Day.
Yeah. But that's banter.
It's still a comparison. You're still comparing yourselves to them. When you weren't challenging for the league back when you were competing for 4th place.
Yeah.
Or when you didn't even get the Champions League spot, you celebrated.
we did it because they finished ahead of us. But no, I get what you mean. That for me is different because that's banter. Like at the end of the day, we don't care as much about them as they care about us.
But okay, I would argue then the fact that they lose against City and then they celebrate, that's also banter. Because they banter that you don't win the league.
For me, that's different because that has direct repercussions of their squad and how people portray you. Ange had a big problem because he's like, what are these loser mentality fans? And in the end, they missed out on 4th place. They missed out on Champions League. They missed out on money. And this has had, for me, this has had a lot of repercussions. And now where they actually are in this moment in time.
I mean, there is a problem in Spurs. Yeah. We all know it.
Yeah, because you look, Mourinho, he's won everywhere. Yeah. Not at Tottenham. Conte won it everywhere. Not at Tottenham.
And that's the biggest one. If Conte doesn't win, and when he's still in his kind of prime,
he was good. Not in the prime,
but he was good.
Yeah.
Still, Mourinho was on the downhill.
Yeah.
When Conte doesn't win with you,
you have a problem. You are the problem. But the thing I want to talk about from the Tottenham game when they played against Chelsea, oh my, it was so. Ange substituted Bergvall for Pape Matar and the Spurs fan booed him because of it. Yeah. Eventually, Pape Matar scored. He turned around to the fans, he did this, and he's like, what? VR, no goal.
And you know what his comment after the game was? He was like, I wanted to hear the fans louder.
Yeah, it's like, I wanted them to have something to cheer. I was like, man, you are so bad at lying.
It's a comedy club.
Yeah,
it's a disgrace.
That's why I say you can always laugh at Tottenham. You can always laugh at them.
It's quite sad.
It's no, it's fun. It's fun.
I do like Tottenham. I want them to win at some point.
Nah.
Speaking of sad, Kevin De Bruyne.
Sad for you, man. I'm happy. This guy's terrorized me enough.
I mean, he terrorized us as well.
Yeah.
Several times.
Nah, Kevin De Bruyne is leaving. That's what we have to say first. He's leaving Manchester City after like 10 years or more. I don't know.
I think he came back to City 2000.
Came back to the Premier League, you mean?
He came back to Premier League around 2016.
Yeah.
2016, 2015, 2016. Yeah.
So he's been here for 10 years, and my God, what a player this guy is. For me, when I think about him, like when you actually think about the qualities of De Bruyne, he can strike the ball on both feet with high quality.
One of the best shots.
One of the best shots from distance and from close. He can run with the ball at high speed, high intensity.
Very hard to stop.
Hard, difficult to stop.
Yeah.
He can play make on both feet at the highest level.
Pinpoint crosses and from the right side onto the far post.
Perfectly. The half space between those crosses. Perfect.
If you need help in the midfield to play out the back,
he can do it.
He can do it.
So for me, it's like when I'm thinking about, everyone's like, okay, it's Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard.
Oh fuck!
This guy, like, if you compare it to them, he's up there.
He's not up there. He's better than them.
Yeah. You could argue. You could argue that.
No. You cannot argue. He's better.
Yeah.
This is the English hype.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the English hype. How many leagues have Gerrard won? How many leagues have Lampard won compared to Kevin De Bruyne?
Yeah.
It's not even close.
But Scholes won more.
Over 30 years.
No, but I get you. But De Bruyne has been the main man, the talisman of Manchester City.
Another thing, he always steps up in the big moments.
Big moments.
Until it's Champions League final, then he gets
he gets injured.
But you can't stop injuries, we said. But, I mean, this guy, whenever we played City, I wasn't afraid of, for example, Haaland or Rodri or Aguero back then. I was afraid of De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I always knew De Bruyne almost always scores against us. Yeah. Every double leg we played against them in the Champions League, he scored against us. He is such a good player, dude.
Nah, he's fake. Like,
top 5 midfielders of all time?
He could be. I mean, not that off the top of my head, I don't want to say it, but like if you think about those 10, like a Kaka, like a Özil, all of them had great attributes, but they were still like, okay, Özil, he couldn't use his right foot as much. Kaka, he wasn't as big of a playmaker, he was more of a second striker. De Bruyne has all of these qualities. I don't think there's another profile like De Bruyne around.
He's very special.
He's so unique.
And he was good the year before Guardiola came.
Yeah.
He decided the game against PSG in the quarterfinals of the Champions League 2015-2016 with that outside of the box shot. He is a world-class legendary midfielder. For me, the only thing that kind of like lets him down from being one of the best midfielders of all time is because of his international career. Because he never won a trophy with Belgium.
And that's the thing. That's a failure on the entire nation.
The generation of Belgium. Because he did score quite important goals.
He scored against
Brazil, amazing goal in the quarterfinals as well. But I mean, that's the only thing that kind of fails him. That he at least give me a final.
Yeah, something. Give me something. Something to work.
I think he got a bronze medal.
Yeah.
It's something. Half.
But like when Sweden won the bronze medal, everyone is like, yay. Yeah, they're happy. But so it's
this guy's competing. Yeah, but this guy's competing for.
He should be at the biggest. Yeah.
But if we're saying like, let's on the top of our heads.
Yeah.
Zidane, Modric, Iniesta, Xavi.
Santi Cazorla. I'm just kidding.
Kevin De Bruyne might be the 5th.
He's up there. I mean, but I wouldn't,
different type.
I wouldn't compare an Iniesta or Xavi to De Bruyne.
Iniesta, I would. Definitely, I would.
Not
He's kind of playing the exact same position.
De Bruyne is a bit higher for me. As like higher on
but in the first years, of Guardiola, he was playing Iniesta's exact position. He did play. He came up higher, but Iniesta also played high sometimes.
Yeah, but I would still, for me, I would compare De Bruyne to the Özil, Kaka, Zidane, Bergkamp, even like those type of players. Like,
but I mean, they are like comparable.
But the players that played between the midfield and the striker.
Are we saying best midfielder of all time in Premier League?
He could be.
I think.
But I still
six titles.
Yeah,
6 Premier League titles. No.
Maybe I don't even know.
4-2.
But they will be gone soon. It doesn't matter. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Kevin De Bruyne, best midfielder in Premier League history.
But I'm happy because him and Trent are leaving, which means we're gonna win the league. Next year's our year.
I mean, listen, we thought you would win the league this year. It's like we're pushing the bar every year.
Yeah.
Until you have no competitors at all, then we can win the league.
And even then,
win it already.
Even then, we were like, yeah, no.
Injuries.
Man, the referee. No, but it's you gotta respect De Bruyne for what he's done.
Yeah.
Top player, and. Even though he's given me a lot of nightmares, he's given me a lot of sad moments. He's penetrated me more times than I would care to him.
He did dominate Kroos and Modric every single time that we played against them. Every single.
It's quite surprising that he's actually stayed at City for his entire career.
I mean, why wouldn't he? He's winning everything, and he's one of the best of all time.
But one thing as well, which people don't talk about enough, I think the season when they won the treble, he was injured at the last part of the season.
First part of the season.
At the later stage of the season, I don't even know what injury it was. It was something. I think it was with his legs. So he was like, I don't know if it was hamstring or maybe anything. And they were like, okay, we have to analyze like which games are more important that you have to play, and he sacrificed his body for the treble. So he sacrificed his body, like we spoke about. He sacrificed his body for the team, and I think that's one of the reasons that he's having so many injuries right now, because his body can't keep up anymore.
But another thing that kind of lets him down a bit is that when he was injured, City could still win.
Yeah.
He did it wasn't
as big of a miss.
He wasn't as big of a miss, which does
speak for that.
It takes away a bit. So the lack of international trophies,
but that's the City machine. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
The City machinery was disgusting. Like you knew they could lose.
Yeah, but he was playing within a machinery.
Yeah.
Which for me also speaks against Xavi and Iniesta, because Guardiola creates a machine which makes Modric and Kroos even greater.
More impressive.
Because they survived in a non-system. Zidane had no system and Ancelotti had no system, and they were still great, which speaks loads about them.
Individually, maybe.
Individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.